Hey everybody. Hey, okay, I'm going live. I don't think I've done this before, certainly not in a while, but I just wanted to check in and talk a little bit about Skinwalkers, and I was curious to know if anybody would watch this. So recently I went to Skinwalker Ranch. Now I didn't go into Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know the people who were there, and um, there's no way for me to contact them. So I went as close to Skinwalker Ranch as I could. And when I was there, I hosted a contact event close to Skinwalker Ranch. We went outside, we meditated, we reached out and tried to connect with different beings that are out there. And we successfully went into the anomaly astrally, and we connected with the entities that were there. And people were perceiving the entities in the anomaly, and we had this conversation with the entities in the anomaly. They're not particularly communicative, they're not particularly interested in talking with humans. They usually, when we go there, they give us the same message. They're not so keen on what the people down below are doing, which is understandable. Um, but we did communicate with them, and then we had coming over the top of us something quite spectacular, a very large, relatively large. It was high up, it was probably in space, but this relatively large, bright, glowing uh, something went over the top of us. And there was an immediate assumption that this was some kind of alien orb or craft. Um, and, I'm a space scientist, and I, as a scientist, as a logician, I like to be a little surer before I make a conclusion. And to me, other than how incredibly large and bright this thing was going over the top of us, um, I I felt like it could probably be a human-made craft. And the only thing that I thought could be that big and that bright would be the International Space Station. So I made note of the time, was it 8:43 or something like that? Um, and after the event, I checked to see if that was, in fact, the International Space Station. Turns out that it was at exactly the time that we saw it. The International Space Station was flying over. I've got that on video, so I will release that on video at some stage fairly soon. Now, we did also after that, after we'd seen that craft, uh, we saw something else coming over in the other direction, and it was high altitude, it was large, it had some red lights on it, some white lights, but nothing was blinking, nothing was flashing. It appeared to be up high altitude, like in orbit, and I was with a military um, helicopter pilot, and they were they told me that is not human made, and that's the impression that I got also, because it was not flashing, and it was definitely a UFO or a UAP, and it went right over the top, maybe because we were there at Skinwalker Ranch. Now, the following day, we went out about an hour north of there into the Uinta Mountains. That's all part of the Uinta Basin, where there is unusual activity, unusual phenomena. And the reason we went into this specific area is because somebody I know well, who I trust, when they were there several years ago, they saw orbs flying around while they were hiking in the mountains, and they saw these orbs flying into and out of what appeared to be a spherical portal entranceway. And we went back there, and it turns out that in that same region, there is a place called Dark Canyon, and the Native American Indian tribes, um, they think that that Dark Canyon, that is where skinwalkers come from. So we went up into the mountains to the location where this dark canyon is. um, and it's not very easy to get to. There's not a path to go there. You can drive up quite a long way on pretty bad dirt tracks full of potholes, but then you have to walk. And so we were walking, and we had to go through streams. It was not an easy trek. There's thick underbrush. But we went up into Dark Canyon to see if we could connect with the Skinwalkers. And when we were up there, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. We sat down at the top there, and we meditated, and we tried to connect with the Skinwalkers. Now, none of us had anything but um, pure, friendly, positive energy and feelings associated with this place where the Skinwalkers were. And so the Skinwalkers certainly did not do anything negative to us, or give us any negative energy. Now, Skinwalkers, there's lots of different stories about who they are, what they are, but essentially what they are is they're a defensive mechanism put in place. They are living conscious entities that were created or engineered tens of thousands of years ago by beings that live in the Uinta Basin as a defense mechanism, so that if people, human beings who were coming in where they're not welcome, if they come into places like Skinwalker Ranch where they're not welcome, the Skinwalkers are there to repel them, not necessarily to hurt them, but to repel them and keep them away. But if human beings go into those places with love, love in their hearts, with peace on their minds, then um, then those people are not attacked. The Skinwalkers do not see them as a threat, and they allow their presence. So we had communication with the Skinwalkers that were up there, mentally, astrally. And I said to them, is there any chance that you could, as we walk back down, put something in our paths, some kind of message, gift, token of friendship? Is there anything that you could put in our paths that when we found it, we would be like, oh, that's nice. That's a little unusual. Yes, that's a sign to us. And as I was saying this in my mind, the idea came into my mind of that maybe the token, maybe the gift could be some bones. Because I'm thinking, what would be lying around this hilltop that they might be able to just pick up and put in our path? And I thought bones, and then I thought maybe a skull, something like that. Um, and I continued this part of the meditation longer than one of the people there was continuing to meditate, and they had walked around the other side of a small tree or bush that was next to us, and I opened my eyes to see him walking towards me uh, and saying, "Hey, there's more. There's bones around here. There's more bones." We'd seen one small bit of a pelvis on the ground earlier on, and we walked around there. Straight away, there was a skull, a clean skull of what looked to me like an elk, um, and other bones lying around. And I was immediately attracted to one particular bone, which was not a skull, but somehow this spoke to me, not literally, but this is this would be the femur, the leg bone of an elk, and it's very clean, and it's fine to pick up. And that was interesting, and I thought, okay, that's nice, that's a message. And we walked back down, and that evening we hosted another I hosted another contact meditation up in the hills at the site of where the portal was. And as we were walking um, uh, down from the site, we basically went up and we prepared the site for a meditation. We walked back down to go to our cars, and we were going to walk back up for the final meditation. And right in my path was this, which looks the same, but it is a second femur of an elk. And it was right in the middle of my path. And to me, I took it as a sign that we asked for some kind of thing to be put in our path. What did we get? We had two identical femurs in completely different places on the mountainside. Now, that's not proof of anything, but to me, that's sort of a level of synchronicity and coincidence that strongly suggests the probability that these skinwalkers had connected with us and put that there, put those items there. And that evening, we went up to where that portal was. And I'll be honest, we didn't see a portal. We did see quite a few unusual lights in the sky. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And we were asked to, this is another story, but we were asked by some Ebans a few days before to construct a stone circle in recognition of them, a stone circle at this location. And we did that. We constructed a stone circle in a specific way that the Ebans asked us to do. And we sat around that stone circle, and it was beautiful, pure, loving energy. And although we didn't have direct contact with a skinwalker in that location or with an Eban in that location, we feel like we were able to accomplish a task that the Ebans wanted, and we did connect with them, and it was a very beautiful evening. So that's just a little story I have about skinwalkers and when we went to the home of the skinwalkers. I'm probably going to do more little live streams like this, spontaneous little live streams every once in a while. And I hope some of you will tune in. I will share with you each time just a few minutes of knowledge about some of the different entities who are out there. We have formed relationships with well, probably 10 to 20 different species, and probably about 6 of them we know very well. 3 or 4 of them we're actually working with. So look out for my other live streams, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. You will take care, everybody. And oh, now I need to find how to end this live stream. Where's the end live stream button? Doesn't seem to be one. Okay. Oh, there it is. I had to maximize my screen. You will take care. Peace, love, and happiness to you all. Goodbye.